Good morning. Finally back from Milwaukee and all the things I had going on before that. Great trip, honestly. Getting the Lowrider S together was very nice. Glad to have it pretty much finished for now. I know it still needs a lot of work and there's things I want to do to it and parts I need to order and things I need to buy to get that project finished. But I've put this one off long enough and it's time to get this one going. I do want to get this bike together and I want to get it running and riding and go through it, check it all out, and get it sold. I purchased this bike to get it together, to fix it up and sell it. It is a nice bike. It's in pretty good shape. It does have some weird odds and ends on it. It did have a set of air shocks on the rear, and they both had little snifter valves on them. The other side, unfortunately, didn't hold air. So while I stored it, I did take that shock off. I do have a set of more correct shocks, so the goal today is to get these off. I do have a set of side covers that match. The side covers that came on it had a goofy paint job on them that didn't really match the bike, so I did buy a black set of side covers that I'll put on. I also do have the solenoid that I need for this, so I'll get that solenoid swapped out. Once I have that done, then we'll put the battery in. We will put some fresh gas in it and hopefully get this thing to start and run. See how far I get today. The goal obviously is to work from the back forward, and we'll see how far we go. We'll start with these shocks first. I'm not sure if any of you guys had the opportunity to go to Milwaukee for their 120th anniversary, but if you did, hopefully you enjoyed yourself, and if you didn't, you really kind of missed out. Looks like Harley is going to make this an annual event now, which I'm not sure how big it'll be if they do it annually. This year, obviously, there was a lot going on, not a lot of time to get everything done, but it was a good time. Definitely glad I made the trip. The bike did great, ran great, was comfortable. Almost got the new seat broken, which is nice. Put 750 miles on last weekend. Hoping to be able to change this shock out without having to remove the rear exhaust, but I'm not sure if I'll have enough space. We'll see. Did have to get the rear jack just to create a little less tension on the rear end here. was put these air shocks on, decided to not take the rear exhaust off as well, and that's what's creating some of the problem here. The nut was actually on the wrong side. I threaded the bolt in through from the back side. If I can get enough room in here to get on it enough, I should be able to pull it. Close, real close. I definitely have not had enough coffee this morning. After a long weekend and little sleep, I'm definitely feeling it. Hoping to caffeinate a little bit, feel a little better here. Wake up. I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough room to pull that bolt out far enough. It's going to be real close. I was hoping that was going to take a little bit of pressure off. This bolt helped a little bit. That's what I was afraid of. There's not even enough room to get that out. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to move the axle forward. Had to remove the chrome axle covers. Now we'll loosen up this main nut here. See if they get this rear end all the way up now. I can slide that rear wheel forward enough to get that bolt out. Should be pretty close. Just enough room, barely enough room. Perfect. Saddlebag brackets out of the way here. Those will have to go back on in a minute. Okay, we got one rear shock in place. Now we will fish this bolt back through the opposite way. This does have to come down just a slight little bit here. Should be about perfect. Let's see if that'll fit through now. That's close. Put it in the right way. Tighten these up and then we can go to the other side. Looks much better. I thought about taking these saddlebag guards off, but the next buyer may want them on there. Maybe they want to throw a set of leather bags on until they can get another set of bags. When I first picked this bike up, I really contemplating buying the correct parts for it and putting it back together like it should be. But I knew I wasn't going to keep the bike, and I couldn't find the proper parts that I needed or wanted. I wanted to find the actual touring fairing and bags and tour pack. Unfortunately, I never found them, not in good shape. I found a few sets here and there, or I found them so far away and shipping was so expensive that it just didn't make sense. So I opted not to buy them. We'll try to get this side cover on real fast here. Okay, see if we can get this side cover installed before we move on to the other side. Definitely not enough working room in this. Tight spaces for sure. Alright, that takes care of that side. New shock installed, side cover in place. Now I'll move around to the other side and get that fixed up. As I said on this side, the shock that was on here would not hold air anymore. And the bike actually set kind of funny and it was leaking fluid. And I replaced it with a shock that I had laying around until I could actually get to this project and put the correct shocks on. But now that I have some time, we'll get the proper shock in place and this will look a lot better. that in place and remove this without taking that guard off, if I can. Hopefully I can. I think there's enough space to do it. I believe there is. Get the bike lifted up just a little bit more. Take some of that pressure off. Nope, not quite enough room. It's close. But these are still loose from last time, so easy to pull it off. The smaller shock, it gave me the illusion that I could actually pull it out without taking that guard off. But unfortunately I couldn't. At least it's a quick and easy removal. Alright, and that shock is out. Not even sure what that's to. Oil that. got the shock in place here. We'll go ahead and lower the bike back down just a little bit. Get these bottom bolts will line up all the way. Get the belt guard back in place. That way everything's tightened up the way it should be. Alright, that's in place. Tighten up the bottom and top shock mounts, and we'll be all set here. And that one's tight. Top one tightened up here. Wipe my greasy handprints off and dirt and grime out of here. It looks a little bit better. Put the bag guard back on. Okay, that's tightened in place. I guess we'll move back to the other side here. We'll get this solenoid pulled. Once that's pulled, we do have to buy a nylock nut for the back side of this cover because unfortunately I don't have the right size. Didn't come with a secondary nylock nut, so we'll get that eventually. So now that we're back on this side, we're going to get through and we're going to get the solenoid pulled. Get that ready to replace with the new one. I'm noticing that this top nut was loose. So I wonder if that had something to do with the fact that this thing wouldn't actually start. Maybe the solenoid wasn't getting good power. I hadn't noticed that before. We're replacing our solenoid here with a new one. This is our new one we just received. It took a long time to get. Unfortunately, with the way things are going in the world, it seems like everything takes longer and longer to get to you. My favorite thing about that order, I placed the order for it and immediately it said it was shipped. So you get a tracking number and you get a tentative date of when it'll arrive. You wait and wait and wait, and a few days goes by and shipping hasn't happened and you see no movement. A week goes by and still no movement. 10 days goes by and finally your order ships. I'm seeing that more and more. A lot of things you're ordering online will do the same thing. You'll see the label be generated almost instantly, and then a week later or longer your actual product will ship. I'm not sure why that is. I don't know if these are drop shipping from a vendor, if there's just a shortage wherever in the world, or what's actually happening, but it's kind of an unfortunate thing to have to wait so long for parts. You know, you think you're getting them fast, or you buy them from a specific vendor that says they'll ship in so many business days, and you hope that that's actually accurate. Unfortunately, we waited almost 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks for that to arrive. But now I have it, and I'm finally getting the opportunity to work on it. That did set me back a little bit as far as time goes. I was hoping to work on this bike a few weeks ago, but with the delay in shipping, I pushed this off onto the back burner and didn't have the chance to actually work on it. Got a few other projects lined up that I need to get into the shop. Obviously my Lowrider S still needs the stereo installed. I need to get that in and get that going. I do need to fuss with the headlight. I didn't really like the headlight setup that I had on that bike, so I'd like to find something that's a little better. It is an LED light. It is fairly bright, but it is an aftermarket cheap headlight. Unfortunately, I didn't really like it. And I do have a 1966 FL that I'd like to get in here as well. I really want to start working on. I want to get that bike running. At least get that thing. It needs to be timed. I just rebuilt the carburetor on it, took it all down to the basic pieces. Ultrasonic the carburetor, got it cleaned up. Bought a complete rebuild kit, so it's all new internal parts. It looks a lot better. It should run well, and I do need to go through and check the timer. Unfortunately, the timer on it was loose, and I feel it's close, but I don't know that it's perfect. So I want to check the timing on the bike and get that figured out. Once that's done, it does need some cosmetic things. It came with a chopped rear fender and some goofy parts on it that somebody had customized it with. But you'll see it. You'll see the bike and kind of how it looks and the direction I'm hoping to go with it. Should be a nice little runner when I'm done. would like to do a video of all these bikes that I have and kind of showcase the different things that I've got and the different ideas that I've got and the different projects that I'm trying to work on. There are a lot of them. Obviously the 48 still needs a lot of work and some time. The wheels and tires are out right now, waiting for those to be mounted. Once those are mounted, then I do want to build the Springer front end and then get, you know, brakes on the wheels and get the wheels spaced properly and get that frame into a roller so I can actually roll it around the shop and then start really working on it. I've got enough projects to keep me busy for a while outside of the parts business and staying busy with that. I've got a lot of motorcycles I need to get working on and get built. Showcase, let people see what I own and what I do in my spare time for fun. Pull that out of the other side. All right, out with the old and in with the new. Really, I'm hoping this fixes my problem. I feel like that's the issue, is it isn't working properly because that solenoid was bad. I could hear it click and it did nothing to start. So my research shows that that was the ultimate issue, and I'm hoping that's true. I'll go to the other side and get that spring lined up. Get the bolt for the rear mount started as well. There's a ground attached to it, so I just want to get that started. I'll come around and I'll actually grab the other bolt here. Start that one as well. A little easier to do from this side. Keep a little pressure on the solenoid while I'm doing that. Alright, should be able to tighten those up now. Alright, that's tightened down. Start reconnecting wires. Probably should have taken these nuts off before I put it in. Felt like it'd be easier to do it this way. Not sure if this is the right way or the wrong way. But at this point I'm committed to it. I am very excited to hear this bike run. When I bought it, the guy I bought it from said the carb had just been rebuilt. He put a bunch of money into the carburetor and was doing work to the bike and was getting it ready to ride again. But decided that he wasn't going to finish the project and wanted something different, so put it up for sale. I of course bought it as is. Sometimes you have to take that risk though. You have to buy something knowing it's complete and hoping that it's a good investment. Nice thing with bikes like this is even if it doesn't run and something's wrong with it and it needs work, I can part it out. I can actually take the bike all the way apart and sell it in pieces. So if it doesn't run and it needs a bunch of work or there's something majorly wrong with it or whatever, what have you, that doesn't really make a whole lot of difference because I can take this bike apart and sell it in pieces, and the pieces and parts are worth money. They're worth more than what the bike is together, which is kind of a sad thing to think about, that these old bikes sometimes aren't worth as much together as they are apart. But being that this is a sport glide, it's actually a sport glide, I'd like to keep it together. I'd like to get it running. I'd like to have it going. I'd like to sell it as a complete unit, so that way the new owner can have a bike that maybe they can put the money into to make it, you know, what it once was, to get it back to its original state. I've always been a big fan of these bikes with the fairing and the tour pack. Even when they first came out, I've always thought these were cool bikes. That was one of the ones I liked seeing on the showroom floor of a Harley dealership or on the road or wherever as police bikes. I thought that they were neat. I know a lot of people did not like them. They thought that they were ugly or they weren't a true Harley or what have you. But I've always been the guy that thought these were neat. And that's how I am with a lot of my bikes. I don't like the average common motorcycle that a lot of people like. Unless it comes to old bikes, then of course I think I'm in the boat with everybody else that likes, you know, old panheads, old knuckleheads, old shovelheads, old flatheads. That's got to be my favorite. Like I love old flatheads, and I have a few of them, and they are definitely my favorite bike. Bummer. I dropped that and don't know where it went. Got excited talking about old motorcycles and wasn't paying attention and dropped that nut. I've lost it. Shake it out on the shakedown run. A little bit longer, 9/16. Just a little too short. Alright, everything's tight. We're good. Next up will be to get the bike down on the ground, get the battery off the tender, install the battery, and see if our start button works. That's where we're heading next. So we'll have to get the battery out and get that put in. First things first, I guess we'll get the bike down on the ground and we'll go from there.